Okay, for this project, you're going to need your half sheet of brown paper, one full white paper, one dark blue paper, and a full light blue paper as well. You'll need one cutout of a flag, one veteran, 3 foam stickies. If it is an older kid, you will be grabbing one blank white paper, the yellow and the orange circles. K through pre-K will be using a printout of the thank you and one black flagpole, small paintbrush, scissors, Elmer's glue, glue stick, one cotton ball, and the sand will be shared. Also include a tray. Another item that we are going to need is 2-inch tape. Your tape will be blue instead of green. Each child will only need 2 small strips, which I will show you how to include them. Okay, so we have a wonderful opportunity where we will be donating the child's art projects to the local VA. The projects will be put on display and passed out to veterans on Veterans Day. The child might not want to give their project away, which is completely fine. So, if the child does not want to donate their project because they might have a special veteran in their life or worked super hard on it, then we will just flip it over. They will take a marker and put a small circle dot on the side, and that would let us know that that child will be taking home their project instead. So our first step is going to be taking our blue paper, which we will be creating the wave scene in our project. You will take your white paper, put it directly on top of the blue paper with those 2 small pieces of tape. Put one on one side and one on the other side. After it has been taped, we will put the paper this way, and we will be making 4 lines which will create our waves. For the younger kids, TK and kindergarten, these lines will already be pre-made on the paper. For 1st through 5th grade, the children will draw 4 lines. Make sure the lines are not too close together, as this will create problems when cutting out. Next, everybody will grab their scissors and slowly cut on the lines. It's okay if it is not perfect, just what is easy for the kids to cut out. This is the important step. Once it has been cut out, you need to keep both of the papers together so your patterns will match. After it's been cut out, simply flip it over, put it up top, and set it aside. Repeat for the last 3 waves. And flip it, put it aside. Remember, the lines you don't have to follow. It's just giving you something to let you know, hey, I should make a wave right here. And our last wave. And it should look like this when you're done with the waves. Next, the child will need their tray, their glue stick. Each child should have an individual glue stick. We will be gluing in the tray so it doesn't create such a mess. We grab our first wave, take the blue portion off. One swipe of glue should be enough. And this is the important step. When you put it, you want a little bit of white to show, but you're trying to still match up these side lines. Push it down just a little and then put it up out of the way and move to your next wave. So you'll bring it in, slide down the blue, one swipe of the glue, and just put it back on with a little bit of white still showing. And then you can put that up in your done pile. And we're going to repeat this until all of our waves are done. Okay, and the last wave, remember, one swipe of glue and put it on. Try to line them up and push it down. Now, after this step, the child's fingers might be sticky from the glue. So at this point, we could get a baby wipe and wipe the fingers of the kids' hands if they would like. So our next step, the cotton does not get stuck to their fingers. Now we are going to take our light blue paper, our glue stick again, and we are going to make sure our wave, the white side up. One or two swipes should be plenty of the glue. The important part is we want about 2 inches from the top so we have enough room for our stuff. Kids might need help with this part. We will put it down and do the same thing with the rest. Flip it over and remember they're waves. They can go anywhere. It is important that the child has a little bit of light blue paper at the bottom. No dark waves down here because we have to leave room for our beach. And now we are done making the ocean. Now, if you notice at the bottom, we have this space right here. We are going to be making our beach. Little kids will probably need help with this portion. You want your paper to be able to line up with your other paper. So if I slide it over a little bit, I know that I have about this much that I need to cover. With a pencil, the older children can just make whatever kind of line they want, whatever type of beach. We will cut it out And some kids might need to remember, you know, or be reminded that beaches are not perfectly flat or straight. It's good to give it some kind of shape. And we will just be doing the same thing. One swipe with the glue stick or two. The whole piece of paper does not need to get covered in glue for this to work. And we will be lining up the bottoms and trying to line up the sides as well. Now our beach is put on. So after we have completed this step, pre-K and kindergarten will be using the printout cutouts of thank you. All the other grades will be using a blank piece of paper that they will individually write thank you on. So the older kids will take their pencil and just write thank you. If there is extra space, they are more than welcome to take their scissors, cut the excess off, and that one is finished. Once they have wrote thank you, we will flip it back over. At this time, it's probably a good idea to either slide this up so we have the space to glue so we're not gluing on our nice project. Run one swipe of glue and glue it right on top. I will show you how the younger kids one will be done as well. They will take it, slide their project up, flip it over, one swipe. This is the important step. We need enough room for our sun and two clouds. So we will try to put it up at the very top in the middle. And we're done with that step. Now, after the kids have already washed their fingers if they have to again, we will take our one cotton ball and just rip small pieces. Just rip it apart, make it nice and fluffy. And the younger kids might need a little bit of help with this because we will be making two clouds instead of one. So after we have it all ripped apart, just kind of separate it, put it in half. And after we have it to the half, we will put it up and out of the way for just a moment. Now we are going to start working on our sun. We will take our orange dot, slide this up so we have room to glue and we're not gluing on our pretty picture. Bring it back down, put it up in the corner and push it down. Next, we're going to be taking our yellow foam circle and doing the same thing. Slide it up so we have room to glue. Flip it over and place it right on top. Next, we will need our flag, our small strip of paper for our flagpole, and our veteran. This one, it would be a good idea to have the kid kind of lay it out before glue. You want your flag to be up kind of out of the water, out of the waves, just to know where's a good spot for it. I think that looks good. I think we'll glue it there. After we take those back off, we'll slide our project up. Kids might need help knowing that with this small piece of paper, the easiest way is to put your finger at one end of it, slide it all the way across, and then switch and just cover that little spot that you missed. We will attach our flagpole, and we will have some extra hanging off that we will take our scissors, put your paper sideways, just cut that off and set that aside. Next, we'll move it up and glue on our flag. Bring it back down, place it right there. Okay, now we are going to be working on our two clouds and putting the sand on for the beach. So it's a good idea to remind kids that we don't want the cloud covering up the whole sun, because then you won't be able to see it. So kind of make them kind of like a long shape with the cotton pulled out. And the easiest way is you just get your liquid Elmer's glue, have the kid make kind of a long, thin, kind of oval shape with the glue. They don't need a ton of glue. And they'll just take it and press it right on very lightly so they don't get their fingers covered in glue. We will repeat for the next side. And put it on, and they are finished with the clouds. For the next step, we are going to be finishing our beach. We will need our liquid Elmer's glue. The kids should each have their own small paintbrush. Make sure it is a small paintbrush. We will just be taking and pouring a little bit of glue. Make sure not to get the flagpole. And on both sides, put down your glue, take your brush, and gently spread the glue. Remember, it's okay if there's not glue everywhere in the brown. That's all right. We just don't want the glue up in the waves or on the flagpole. But if it happens, that's okay. Once it is spread out, and you don't need a lot of glue either. Okay, once it's like that, we will put down our paintbrush. Okay, after the glue has been put on, make sure not to wait too long. We will be introducing our sand. The sand will come in small shakers that the child will just shake onto it, but I will just be using my fingers and just slowly pouring a little bit of sand on top of where we glued on both sides. Once we have no more glue showing through, we will have the kid lift it up, gently shake off the remaining sand, and trace should be collected, and the sand as well, as soon as the child's done, needs to be collected by either the helper or the leads. Okay, now we are going to be attaching our veteran. We will be using our 3 foam stickers to kind of make him pop out of the page. The helpers and leads will have to help the children peel the sticky part off of each side of it. Once that has already been peeled off, we will take it, make sure to put one right here, one kind of more in his lower belly region, and one on the top of his head. Once it is done, you can give it back to the child Make sure the foam is on the back and not on the front, and have the child place the veteran somewhere on the beach. Now we are finished with our project. Please make sure these projects will be wet. They will need to be stored in the drying racks in the Art Discovery closet. Some of the veteran's feet may be sticking up due to us having layers in our picture. You or the child could just take a small dab of glue and put it on both sides. To hold it down. Okay, so now after the child has finished, it would be a good time to collect all the artwork. Remember, artwork is going to be stored in the drying rack since this project used a lot of glue and we are still wet. It needs to dry overnight. Okay, and for cleanup, we will need to make sure anything left in the tray is thrown away. Take a baby wipe, wipe it down so we don't have excess glue on it. We will need to take our paintbrush, take it over to the sink, little soap and water, make sure all the glue is in there so we can reuse our paintbrushes. Make sure the caps are closed on all of the glues, both glues. And we are ready to put everything back in the Art Discovery closet where you found it.